Hello, I'm Tony.
And I'm Art, and we're here from gardenmasterswithaz.com. Today's plant discovery plant is the bleeding heart. I want you to look at a close-up of this flower, and as you can clearly see, it has a pillow type pink heart that is split open, bleeding with a white stem coming out.
Fascinating flower, don't you think?
This plant has many flowers on the stem, which makes it very delicate looking. It is a perennial, and it's also ephemeral. Ephemeral is a plant that grows up, it blooms, and then it dies off and disappears for the summer.
Ephemeral really means short-lived. And we're talking about perennials. I wanted to explain a little bit. Normally, people think of perennials as coming up at the beginning of the growing season and lasting until the end of the growing season when they die back. Ephemerals, because they're short-lived, only last for a part of the growing season. They come up, they do their thing, and then they die back way before the growing season's over.
There's also other varieties of the bleeding heart that will bloom throughout the summer, but we'll get to that next. This plant likes somewhat of a shady area.
That's why I like it, because it's flowers in shade.
So it likes close to the woodlands. We have it here in the gardens, close to the woods. It is a very hardy plant, grows in zones 2 to 9.
2 to 9, that's incredible.
That is incredible.
And that's what it tells you, that it won't like warm temperatures because it doesn't like zones past zone 9, but it'll grow all the way in zones cold, like zone 2.
Yes. It likes a moist, fluffy soil. And what I want to say about that is do not plant it in an area that is wet a lot of the time, because the roots will rot and the plant will disappear. Around me, there's more of them. It spreads by the seed of these flowers. So if you don't want it spreading all over your gardens, I would suggest when these flowers are fading, clip them off.
Now this particular variety grows 2 to 3 feet tall. As you can see the size of it in relation to Art next to it.
And it's great in a woodland setting.
Sure is.
So
sure is.
Next, I want to show you another variety of the bleeding heart. And as you can see, that one, this is the more common one. This one is a fringe bleeding heart. As you can see, very sharply cut leaves. This has a similar flower, but yet a little bit different. As you can see, it has that heart, not as much defined as the other bleeding heart.
True.
But it is the heart with the bleed coming out of it.
Now this variety grows so much smaller. You can see the difference between this one and the one we just showed you, the variety we just showed you. This one is much smaller.
It grows to about 1 foot, the flowers. And it also, with this plant, different from the other common bleeding heart, this one will stay up. It's not an ephemeral. It'll bloom all summer and into the fall, as long as the weather doesn't get too hot.
And I want to say what I notice about the smaller variety as opposed to the larger one is the smaller one seems to spread much quicker. We have these spreading in lots of different areas around the property where there's only a few of the bigger variety around that has spread. So I don't know why, but the smaller one seems to spread quicker.
Well, Tony, I do have an answer for that, and that is because
Please tell me.
These are blooming all summer long.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a lot longer time to spread, where these just disappear in the summer.
Now, why didn't I think of that?
So you want to keep, again, if you don't want them spreading all over, as soon as the flowers are beginning to fade, cut those stems off. I want to show you in the garden, you can see they're popping up here and there. It would be a good idea to plant them in a concentrated area if you don't want them spreading throughout your garden.
Yes, all of these fringed bleeding hearts that you see have spread naturally through the gardens.
These I believe are zone 3 to 5, more on the eastern U.S., not quite as hardy as the other ones.
There you have it, the bleeding hearts. You should try them. If you like our video, be sure to tap that subscribe button and check out this next video where you'll discover a blue plant you just gotta have. In addition, you can also subscribe to our free newsletter by going to gardenmasterswithaz.com/subscribe.